The front door slammed shut, a gunshot in the stillness of our home, and her laughter, bright, reckless, almost cruel, sliced through the air. I froze, my fingers tightening around the cold edge of the kitchen counter, the STD test results trembling in my other hand. Emily's voice, vibrant and unguarded, echoed from the foyer, recounting some story to her phone, oblivious to the storm brewing 10 feet away. Her suitcase wheels squeaked against the hardwood, a grating reminder of her absence these past 4 days. A business trip, she called it, her eyes darting away as she packed. I'd wanted to believe her. God, how I'd wanted to. The paper in my hand felt heavier than it should, its sterile print screaming truths I wasn't ready to face. I'd found in the mailbox that morning, slipped among bills and junk mail, as if betrayal could be so mundane. The results were unequivocal, positive for something I hadn't even known to fear. My stomach churned, while rising as her laughter grew louder, closer. She was still talking, her voice a melody of ease, as if nothing in the world could touch her. I wondered for a fleeting, desperate moment if I'd misread the signs. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I was the one breaking us. Mark, her voice softened as she stepped into the kitchen, her smile faltering when she saw me. Her auburn hair was loose, framing her face in a way that used to make my chest ache with love. Now it just ached. You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. Her eyes, those warm hazel pools I drowned in for 7 years, flicked to the paper in my hand. Her smile vanished. What's that? She asked, her tone too casual, like she was commenting on the weather. She set her purse on the counter, the leather brushing against a half-empty coffee mug with a faint clink. The sound grounded me, pulling me back from the edge of panic. I didn't answer right away. I couldn't. My throat was a vice, trapping words I wasn't sure I could say. Test results, I said finally, my voice low, unsteady. From the clinic. I watched her face, searching for a crack in her composure, a flinch, a flicker of guilt. There was nothing, just a slight tilt of her head, a practiced curiosity. Oh, she crossed her arms, leaning against the counter. Everything okay? Her voice was steady, but her fingers twitched, betraying her. I'd seen that twitch before, when she lied about small things like forgetting to pay a bill or misplacing her phone for hours. I'd always let it slide, chalking it up to her quirks. Now, those quirks felt like landmines. Emily, I said, my voice cracking on her name. Why didn't you tell me you were getting tested? My heart pounded, each beat a hammer against my ribs. I wanted her to laugh it off, to say it was routine, to give me something to cling to, but the air between us thickened, heavy with unspoken truths. Her eyes narrowed, just for a second, before softening into something like concern. Mark, I didn't want to worry you. It was just a checkup. You know how I get paranoid about my health. She stepped closer, her hand reaching for mine, but I pulled back, the paper crinkling in my grip. Her touch, once my anchor, now felt like a trap. Don't, I whispered, hating how small my voice sounded. Don't lie to me. The words hung there, sharp and final. Her face changed then, the mask slipping just enough for me to see the fear beneath. Not guilt, not yet, just fear of being caught. I'm not lying, she said, but her voice wavered, a crack in the facade. She reached for her purse, as if to distract herself, but her hands fumbled, knocking the mug to the floor. It shattered, ceramic shards scattering like the pieces of our marriage. We both stared at the mess, the silence deafening. Emily, I said, slower this time, forcing her to meet my gaze. I got tested too, after you left, because I found something. My mind flashed to the hotel receipt I'd found in her coat pocket 2 weeks ago, tucked away like an afterthought, dated for a weekend she claimed to be visiting her sister. I hadn't confronted her then. I told myself it was nothing, that I was being paranoid. But the receipt had burned a hole in my trust, and when I started feeling off, I'd gone to the clinic. The results in my hand were my punishment for hoping. Her face paled, her lips parting as if to speak, but no words came. I pressed on, my voice growing steadier, fueled by the anger simmering beneath my heartbreak. You weren't at a conference, were you? For days, Emily. For days, And you come back laughing like everything's fine. Like I'm nothing. Mark, stop, she said, her voice sharp now, defensive. You're blowing this out of proportion. I was working. You know how demanding my job is. But her eyes betrayed her, darting to the paper, then back to me, calculating. I could almost see her mind racing, weaving a new lie to patch the holes in the old one. Then explain this, I said, holding up the results, my hand shaking. Explain why we both have something we shouldn't. Explain why you're lying to my face. My voice broke on the last word, and I hated myself for it. I wanted to be strong, to be the man who could walk away without crumbling. But I loved her. Even now, standing on the edge of ruin, I loved her. She took a step back, her breath hitching. I don't know what you're talking about, she stammered, but the words were hollow, a reflex. Her hands twisted together, her wedding ring glinting under the kitchen light, a cruel reminder of vows we'd made. Maybe it's from you, she said suddenly, her voice sharp with accusation. Maybe you're the one who. Don't you dare. I cut her off, my voice a growl. Don't you dare turn this on me. I've been here, Emily, waiting for you, trusting you. While you were what? With someone else? In some hotel room, laughing about me? The image seared my mind. Her with another man, her laughter echoing in a room that wasn't ours. I felt sick, the room spinning as the truth clawed its way to the surface. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Her silence was louder than any confession. Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't for me. They were for herself, for the life she'd just shattered. Mark, I didn't mean, she started, but her voice trailed off, lost in the weight of her guilt. Didn't mean what? I pressed, stepping closer, my voice low and dangerous. To sleep with someone else? To lie to me for months? To bring this into our home? I gestured to the paper, now crumpled in my fist. Or did you just not mean to get caught? She flinched, and for the first time, I saw the woman I'd married. Vulnerable, flawed, human. Not the liar, not the betrayer, but Emily, the woman who'd once promised me forever. I was lonely, she whispered, her voice barely audible. You were always working, always distant. I needed to feel something. Her words were a knife, twisting deeper because they weren't entirely untrue. I'd been distant, buried in my own work, assuming our love was strong enough to survive neglect. But that didn't justify this. Nothing could. I loved you, I said, my voice breaking as tears burned my eyes. I still do. But this, I held up the paper, the final nail in the coffin of our marriage. This changes everything. She reached for me, her hand trembling, but I stepped back, out of reach. The kitchen, once our sanctuary, felt like a battlefield, littered with the wreckage of our life together. Mark, please, she whispered, her voice raw. We can fix this. But we couldn't. Not anymore. I turned away, the test results slipping from my hand to the floor, a quiet surrender. As I walked out of the kitchen, her sobs followed me, each one a reminder of what we'd lost. And somewhere, deep in my chest, a new pain bloomed. Not just betrayal, but the sickening realization that I'd loved her enough to let her destroy me.